We are talking about the best teams in Marvel Strike Force for the month of July, and we got some more predictions about what must be coming down the pipe. Let's go ahead and get into it. The newest team that's definitely going to be making waves in this game is Fantastic Four MCU. They are the new arena team. These kind of teams only come around once a year. Arena teams are generally the strongest teams in the game. They're the most impactful throughout. So it's really going to be interesting to see what happens as this team makes its way in. Invisible Woman is out and she's already making moves. So this is my endgame account, and notice Human Torch there. He's still purple. We're going to have to bring him up. We haven't touched him in quite some time. Here's my new player account. So we see both characters are kind of coming up. That unique piece on the thing there, that's starting to be a problem. Getting those unique pieces, it's going to be a bottleneck for us. But hey, we got to learn it sometime. We'll keep working on it, see if we can get these guys up and running. The team that came out last month is the Accursed. Now, Accursed, they're not really for me, right? I don't do demons and stuff like that, but their appearance in the game, I believe, does indeed signify something very important. We're going to be diving into that as we progress through. They're a Crucible team, so we're going to be talking about more about that when we get to the Crucible section. Since I didn't really invest in the team, I'm not sure how far along you should be in progressing. So if you're paid to play, if you're free to play, how much power does your Accursed team have at this time? Are we going to get any help this month through the calendar? Well, the July calendar on the left-hand side, we have the Illuminati. On the right-hand side, we have the Absolute A-Force. Absolute A-Force is very strong. They're an excellent Alliance War team. Kahori is a very powerful character in this game. So, good teams to power up. Again, the Illuminati's older. I wouldn't really invest in them. Don't really put power into Mr. Fantastic there. I think they're just giving us shards to help us complete some of the things that are happening this month. You got the First Family calendar. So again, some of these things I think are just to help us complete some of the stuff in the command center. We don't really want to put power into anyone else besides the Thing and Johnny Storm. So we got 100 shards of each. So go ahead and bring them to the moon since they're the newest team. The other two characters, again, just be wary unless you already have them powered up, if you're already using them in their assigned content. That brings us to the most important game mode in Marvel Strike Force, and that is Arena. Now, the Annihilators have been the dominant arena team for a year, right? But now we need to stop building. We need to stop investing in that team. Fantastic Four MCU is designed to overtake them. So all of the abilities that the new Fantastic Four team is going to counter the Annihilators, at least in Arena. When these new arena teams come out, they are designed to counter everything that has come before them. So really, outside of Professor X, that should be the only stumbling block. Meaning that'll be where the line in the sand is drawn. Everything else will be on us as the player, right? Will be on us as the player. We could pay attention to the strategies and tactics, and the sky's the limit right now. You run into Professor X, that's going to be the only stopping block. Otherwise, you should be able to punch up as high as possible in your arena at this time and try to hold that spot for the rest of the year. Now, let's see where I'm at. So on my arena shard, I'm currently ranked 56. Last time we spoke, I was 39. So I kind of punch up inside the top 50, get pushed down outside of the top 50, depending on the activity level. And again, I'm working with main characters just like a lot of people. There's an Odin there, Null, Apocalypse. So stuff that we've all seen before. Let's see the effect in my shard. Let's take a look at what some of the other players are using. So we have Chicken. He's ranked number 3 in my arena shard here. We got Mephisto, Odin, Professor X, Null, and Gore. So again, there's no Annihilators here at all, demonstrating that they have indeed run their course, but I'm interested to see what will happen when the Fantastic Four kicks in. Which of these characters do you think will still be using when the Fantastic Four meta begins? Coming in at number 2 this week is Freenock. Now, Freenock's been on the list here for 2 weeks in a row since we've been keeping track. Also has Professor X, and in this case, he is using the Shadow King as his 5th member. Similar setup to earlier, we have the guy holding down the number 1 spot, Stone 800. Again, Professor X is involved in this mix. So, since the top 3 people have Professor X, how far can I reasonably go? Right? What can I expect? How high can I punch up in my arena shard not having a Professor X of my own? So the first person I see that does not have a Professor X is Anna Vamp. There's no Xavier on her team, so she's using what we got here. We got an Odin. We have an Old Man Logan. We have an Emma Frost X-Men. So where does she rank in my arena shard? So we see here Anna Vamp is in spot number 8. She is in 8th place in my shard with no Professor X. Bailey does have Professor X. So what does this mean? Again, I'm a ways away from that, but it shows you the amount of effort you should be putting in. If I was getting close to that wall, then there's no point in me using more resources. There's no point in me using more power cores to try to push farther because I can't push past that point. And I would be much better served putting those resources into acquiring Professor X, which of course I'm still trying to do. So if we take a look at what's around me at this time, this is kind of how things are looking. Again, I can push up. I can beat some of these individuals. We keep jockeying for position. There are, though, people who are making progress towards Professor X, so we're starting to see more and more gear tier 20 individuals. So in this case, we just KG for MVP on the left-hand side there. He has a gladiator that is gear tier 20, but otherwise, I mean, it's just hit and miss, right? So if I hit the refresh button, we're starting to see a little bit more of those individuals, right? So we got Sid there on the right-hand side. He has 3 individuals in gear tier 20. So he's way stronger than anything I could push through. I'd have to go around him. But again, this is just because people are making progress toward their Professor X, and more of their characters are getting the gear tier 20 so they can keep making more and more progress in the Professor X saga. Let's look at it from a different perspective. This is my baby account, currently ranked 118, trying to get into that top 100. We'll see if I'm able to do it next month. Last time we spoke, I was 242, and I'm just using the Vigilante team because they're a strong team, right? They're not made for Arena, but we knew that at some point in the next couple of months, a new Arena team was going to be showing up. So I didn't think putting power into the Annihilators was the right thing to do. Coming in at number 3 in that Arena shard, we have Doom Slug. He has Odin. Okay, so there's an Odin. Apocalypse, which is doable. Null, again, which is doable, but Odin is going to definitely put a line in the sand if I don't have an Odin of my own. Again, we can't go past this point. The new Fantastic Four team might allow us to get around that. We're going to have to see when the time comes. Coming in at number 2 on my new player account, we have Chris Rock. We got Streak Week. I think it's supposed to be number 2. I forgot to put the number 2 there. But he's been on, I mean, really since we've been doing this, he's been on there quite a bit. So we're just trying to keep track of how often. But we see, once again, he does indeed have an Odin, and he has a Mephisto. So 2 mythic characters. Again, if we don't have something to challenge that, it's going to be difficult to overcome it. We'll have to see what happens when the new Fantastic Four team shows up, if it makes it so those characters are still relevant. Now, here is the crazy thing right here. We got Lobu, coming into number 1 spot, and Lobu has Professor X. Okay, so I've been playing this account less than 6 months, and now somebody in my Arena shard has Professor X, also using Invisible Woman MCU. Okay, so we're starting to see perhaps what the new meta might start to look like. Hats off to Lobu. We'll see if this trickles down to more and more people next month. Okay, if I want to get into that top 100, what do I got to do? Well, I'm going to have to go through Jester. He's the number 100 person. He's rocking Apocalypse and the rest of the Horsemen. I don't know, right? Apocalypse causes the problem. With the Vigilante team, I don't think I can get through him, so I have to see if I can go around him to get into the top 100. We'll find out how good we do next month. And it appears we're getting close to seeing if we can do that. This is what is happening around us at this time. So we got Matthew on the right-hand side there. So he has individuals that are gear tier 19. That's good, right? It's a big power jump. I don't really know if I can punch through that. The other individuals, we'll try, right? We'll try as time goes on and see if we can get through these teams with our Vigilante team. And again, as a Fantastic Four comes into the mix, it's going to negate all of this. It's just going to be about power. So we hit the reset button, and we got a Spider Society team in the middle. We can definitely take those guys on. Not sure about Lysander on the left. We're just got to experiment and see how big of punch-ups we can do. But again, after the new team comes in, a lot of this is going to be negated, and we'll have to see what the current strategy is at that time. However, that doesn't mean I should take my foot off the gas, right? Because whatever position I end up in, if I can get into that top 100, it'll just be easier for me to maintain it when I get a hold of the new team. Now, I'm going to say the most important game mode in actuality is raids. This is where you get your stuff. This is how you get your gear. When you get that opportunity to make a move in arena, you do it. But let's see what's going on the raid front at this time. Spotlight raids consist of 2 teams. So Spotlight, I'm not going to say it's a priority, but you're going to need them to try to farm those Spotlight orbs regularly. Alpha Flight is the first team that you're going to need. This is my Alpha Flight on the main account. It's been working just like this. I can sim through all the nodes. The reason why we're showing that is because it gives me something to shoot for with the new player account. So this is where I'm at on the second account there. And at this time, I'm starting to be able to get through the nodes. Not consistently, but I was able to do it a couple times here and there. Sometimes my team would make it, sometimes my team wouldn't. So we're getting close to where we can reliably sim and get those things covered. Then we can move on to the next Spotlight raid team. So after you get through the Alpha Flight nodes, the next half of the Spotlight raid is the Mighty Avengers. They're the newer of the 2 teams. This is what mine looks like on the main account. And on the baby account, this is where we are. So I'm starting to think about putting more power in here. If I can consistently, like we said, get through the Alpha Flight nodes, then I should be starting to work on the Mighty Avengers. Now, we want to make sure that the Spotlight teams are not our priority. Build the newest team first, in this case, Fantastic Four. Then you start reaching back to the main raid teams, and your Spotlight raid teams come in third. But we like to talk about them here because your Spotlight raids help you with the catching up of the game. For example, you get those Spotlight raid orbs, okay? So in this one, we have Patriot and a couple other members of the Liberty team. And then for Mighty Avengers, you do have Jean Grey, who is a good character, as well as Hercules as part of your rewards. In the center column for this month, we're getting Havoc. So you're going to get 5 guaranteed Havoc shards for every one of those Spotlight raid orbs. So this is how you're going to flesh out your Starjammer team. And even if maybe you're not down with the Starjammers, Havoc is strong. He is a mutant character. You can use him in the mutant section of the Chaotic Storm raid. On the right hand side, you have a smattering of characters. We got Ben Grimm the Thing. We have the Human Torch. So that's only a 20% chance, but those are how you're going to get some of those old school members, as well as what we saw before. Otherwise, you have members of the Accursed. You got members of the Starjammers. You got members of the Thunderbolts. So again, the Spotlight raid orb is just to try to hopefully get you caught up, get you some extra shards of these farmable characters to speed up your progress there, so you don't have to spend it all on the nodes. As far as the Chaotic Storm raid, the Thunderbolts are the answer to the Bio section. They are the newest raid team so far in the game. So as we see, we're still working on them, right? I wonder where yours are at. We're still kind of working on them. It's interesting, this new farming method they have going. Right, I got a lot of shards, but they're not yet at full power, but they can still clear the nodes, right, on maximum difficulty, and they're not yet at full power. I think this might be a clue about something happening in the near future. Same team with the baby account. We can get through difficulty 3 with the power you see here, including the boss nodes. So now we're going to see what it takes to get them to clear difficulty number 4. Vigilante team is the team needed to get through the skill section, and we're doing really good. We're making progress. We got Hit Monkey there on the right. If I can get that last piece, we're still working on it. If I can get that last piece, then I think we can start on our way to get Charles Xavier. So, hey, it's July. And maybe this month I'll be able to start working my way through the skills section. How are you doing on the path to Charles Xavier? This is what they look like on the new player account. This is strong enough to get through difficulty 3, boss nodes included. This is what we have for the Vigilante team on a new account, and it is once again strong enough to get through difficulty 3. Making our way through the Mystic section, we have the Night Stalker team. So they're doing really good right here. We know that we're using Night Stalkers in a variety of game modes. Here we are on the new player account. So you see we're catching up. We're almost at that Gear Tier 18, level 95 across the board on the teams that we've looked at so far. Team to get us through the tech section is going to be Orcus. So once again, here they are on my main account. And then here's what they look like on my baby account. So again, we're going to come back to these teams because I think something is very telling as we move on to the Mutant Raid team. My main account, this is what my Extreme X-Men looks like. This is the team for the Mutant Raid section. So we have a strong Nightcrawler, but everybody else, those characters are about the same power as my baby account. And this would be on maximum difficulty for that raid. We are swapping out Cyclops for Old Man Logan. Side of things, it's a little bit different. We're using those main 4 characters, but we're using Jean Grey, instead of Old Man Logan. If things really get interesting, we can pop in somebody else. But we've been able to get through. Our difficulty 2 is where we're stopping. We haven't tested the metal any more than that, but maybe I should try. Since we're in the month of July and we know the team obviously for this month, it only gives us about 5 months left till we get to the end of the year. That means we can really start thinking about what teams, or at least what types of teams, need to come out before the end of the year. We saw already when we talked about raids, Thunderbolts, and Vigilantes, we can get through maximum difficulty even though the teams are not at full power. So that might mean there is a new raid coming, because after all, when the Chaotic Storm raid showed up, then we needed those 2 teams. The teams that we had before that were Night Stalkers in Orcus, and then Extreme X-Men are even older than that. So we think about in December of last year, that's when they kind of gave us the hodgepodge characters that gave us the Mighty Avengers, Uncanny Avengers, things like that. So maybe we're looking at something like that this year, and then a new Spotlight raid would be coming out towards the end of the year. Okay, there's no guarantee that's what's going to happen. Man, I got my Battle World wrong. So this is supposed to be Sebastian Shaw. It didn't come out very good. But his team, the Hellfire Club, are they the new mutant raid team? Well, maybe, but we would need a raid for them to do, because they're doing fine, right? Extreme X-Men are doing fine right now. So maybe they're a Spotlight raid team, or maybe they are a Battle World team. Okay, because we know we have a new Battle World coming, so there would be a team coming out for that. We'll be interested to see what happens. Cosmic Crucible, right? That's a game mode that a lot of people enjoy. So this is what it looks like on my main account. I'm not a strong Crucible player. 157, 155 overall. That brings me to 5 and 8 so far since we last spoke. My Crucible rating is 14,635. So, right, about 1,500 players from the perspective of this account that are playing the game. Last time we spoke, I was at 14,100. So I'm dropping back, but hey, that's just part of how it goes. On the baby account, we are 28 and 13, so we're doing well. We went 8 and 3 up till now in Cosmic Crucible. And here's something interesting that I want you to notice. We're making decent headway with the new player account. We are at 111,817 for our ranking. And last time, right, we were at 134,320. So when we're talking about how many active players are in the game, I'm not sure, right? I'm not sure. This looks like there's over 100,000. We know there are abandoned accounts and things like that somewhere between here in my main account. But the fact that I'm losing matches, right, I am running into people who are giving resistance, okay? Now, the Accursed team, it should be the strongest Crucible team that has made its way into the game. I know there's some controversy about how good they are or not, but I believe their arrival does indeed signify something that we're going to be talking about in a few minutes, right after we go over the other teams. Team number 2 is the Starjammers. So the Starjammers were made to go against the other mythic characters that you would find in Cosmic Crucible, but you need all 5 characters to do that. You can't break the squad up. They are strong, but they do have a specified niche use. The Starjammers are starting to become farmable. So we have Lilandra here at Villains Hard Mode 7.6. You need mystic characters for that. The Accursed are going to do that job. So again, this is one of the prices I have to pay for not powering up the Accursed on my baby account. I might not be able to farm this node with any type of regularity. Howard the Duck is available in the Battle World store. For seasoned players, we shouldn't really have a problem. We have tons of currency. Newer-ish players, I'm not sure if this will be something you'll be able to reasonably farm, but I do also think it's noteworthy that Hitmonkey and Daredevil Modern, so vigilante characters, are also here in the Battle World store. But hey, let's get back to Cosmic Crucible. The third newest Cosmic Crucible team are the Immortal X-Men. Again, this team was kind of made up at the end of last year, right? So we have a new character and a bunch of old characters. So I'm wondering if something like that could happen again at the end of this year. Will we get a multi-team? Some will be used for war, some will be used for raid, some will be used for Crucible. I'm wondering if that's going to be a regular occurrence. The Cosmic Crucible team to come out before them, say that 10 times fast. The Cosmic Crucible team to come out before them was the Illuminati. Now again, this is kind of an older team, right? This is before the new stats, but because they're a Crucible team, they're still good in their game mode, especially with Captain Britain there, because you can move people around, right? Some of the new teams, you can't really break people out, right? There's no plug and play, but you can plug people in here and still keep the teams going strong. Then we have the Cabal, which is made for you to add extra members. The Cabal is a 3-piece team. You can add anybody, but really villains would be someone that you could really take advantage of the synergy, and they're still a very good team. I wouldn't go back any farther than that, right? We'll have to see if there'll be some new Crucible teams coming before the end of the year. We definitely still have time. We don't want to leave out the Phoenix Force. Okay, so now every year they're going to be giving us a new character to add to this team. So right now we have Omega Red Phoenix Force. Do you have any ideas as to what characters could be added in the upcoming years? We did have a submission from a member of the community. So here's a comment by Alec Parada. He enjoyed my video that we were talking about the speculation for the things that we saw behind Pathfinder in the Strike Time video. And he wanted to know if we could do a top 10 Phoenix Force characters. I said, man, I don't know, right? That's something to do though. We could dive into that, but he specifically wanted to see Gambit. So let's see if we can create a Phoenix Force version of Gambit. So we have here is one produced by ChatGPT or Sora, depending on how you look at it. And I like it. Okay, this is something I could use as a poster. We had difficulty trying to get it to be a dark Phoenix version. This is the best one that we got. I do indeed like it. I was hoping to transform it more, but the colors are bright and I think it conveys the message. I think I would enjoy playing with this character. Here's our second one. This is made by Google Imagen 3. So again, we have the Phoenix logo on the chest. It's not really as prominent as we want it to be. It is a dark Phoenix inspired version of Gambit. And again, Gambit seems to be a difficult character at times for the AI generators to really get a hold of. Interestingly enough, he still looks pretty cool. We're going to go ahead and use it as our second submission as well. But hey, if you have any thoughts on who else could be on that Dark Phoenix team, please leave them in the comments below. Now, we did indeed say we thought something was going on with the Accursed team, right? They're able to counter Xavier. And people say, well, why? Why would you do that? Why would you bring out a team that can already counter the strongest character we have in the game? Now, in times past, that usually indicates that the next level of character is coming, right? Because the Whales and the Krakens, they've had Professor X for a while. They need a new chase character. In times past, we were talking about having 2 dark dimensions, right? So last year we had a mid-year dark dimension with Odin. So perhaps they're going to do something like that again. We have these guaranteed legendary characters that are coming out, but that doesn't give a chase for the Whales and the Krakens. And I have some thoughts, and we'll see in a few minutes, we'll see a little bit later, some thoughts about what that could mean. In the meantime, let's talk about Alliance War. So with my Team Superfly turnaround, the endgame account, we are 191 and 146, been working really hard. Those folks are going hard. That puts us at 5 and 2, if I'm doing the math correctly. So with reset for the war season, we dropped back to 69. So we're able to easily get into the top 50, and we're trying to get up higher than that. The reset was different the last time we spoke. Last time we got reset to 61. So we'll see what's possible this war season. On the baby account for No Cap Motivation, they've been doing good, right? Hats off to you guys. Hats off. 45 and 14. 3 and 5, so we got a losing record this time, but we're starting to run into people who are stronger, right? We're starting to run into people that have, gear tier 19 and 20 characters. Okay, so we're starting to hit those alliances that they have people that are chill, that are kind of retired, but at the same time have active members, people that are actually playing at the end game. So we got, right, last time we were at 894, but we hit the reset, so we're at 4,139. We'll see what we're able to do this time around. And hats off to MSF VP Assassins After Dark, just because a player's voice always need some support. The Liberty team is the last major war team to come out really strong. We're using them to punch into the strongest of these strong teams and characters. Liberty is indeed legit. Mighty Avengers. So Mighty Avengers, they came out again. This was that in between the end of the year type situation. So Hercules was the new character. The rest of the characters are reworked, and the team is decent, right? The team is decent. They're not made to be a powerhouse overall, stomp on everybody war team, but they do very well, and they counter a lot of early Alliance War meta teams. So they're decent, but it's just interesting the time frame that they came into the game. Okay, the team before them is the Absolute A-Force. Super strong team. Kahori is a great character. This team is great. I like the Absolute A-Force. Again, can be used to counter some of the strongest of the strong when it comes to Alliance War. Number 4 on this list is the Undying team. So they're zombies, and we're probably going to get another character coming out. There's a Marvel Zombies thing coming out on Disney Plus this October, so we'll probably get character number 5, and that will complete this team. The team is already extraordinarily powerful. The team is strong, so we'll have to see what that 5th member brings to the mix. I don't really do zombies, so my team isn't built, but they are a strong Alliance War team. So rounding out the top 5 is Mercs for Money. So again, I don't think I would power up people beyond this. Old Man Logan, great character. I love this team. It's one of my favorites just because of him in Panda Pool. But again, this team can still punch up and do a lot of work. But it's been a while since we had an Alliance War team, so I'm expecting one to drop before the end of the year. The next team we want to consider is our Battle World teams. Now, this is when speculation can run wild, because we know in reality there is only one Battle World team at present, and that is the Astral team. Now, we're going to be able to tie together everything that we've been talking about so far in this video. Shadow King is a legendary character. He's a legendary character for, again, this Battle World team. Because of the age of Annihilus, I don't know, right? I'm not sure if the next Battle World team will have a legendary member or not, because in the case of Quasar, he doesn't have a team. So the next legendary character, I don't know if they will tie him to a team. What we do know is that they're continuing to run Battle Worlds to get us done, right? To get us maxed out on null before the next one starts. That's what it looks like. So instead of coming around monthly, it's been coming around weekly. So I would expect an announcement soon, and perhaps the announcement of a team soon, for us to get into the next Battle World. We have a star there by Purple ISO because Battle World is the thing that is giving us Purple ISO. So I'm assuming that the next team, perhaps it will be a Wakanda team, because next month, the Eyes of Wakanda are coming out on Disney Plus. And so if they're staying in line with what Marvel is doing, it's possible that we get a new Wakanda team, and that team is the new Battle World team. I want to know what your thoughts are on that. That's what I think. And I think it shows that we might be getting into the next phase of the meta, right? These are the Wakandan characters that we have right now. So what two? Would there be 2 of these characters that would be reworked? And then we get 3 new Wakandan characters that are based on the Eyes of Wakanda TV show. Your guess is as good as mine. I really want to know what you think, but I think that something is happening, right? I think this will be the time to give the next level, like we were talking about before, of progression, something that the Krakens and the whales need to chase. Who is this legendary character? And what is he going to bring to the game for chapter 2? We're going to just pretend it's LeBron James. All right, we're going to just pretend it's LeBron James. But what is that character going to do? And again, everybody's going to get this character. But if we're going to increase to Purple ISO 4 and 5, which is probably what the new Battle World is going to bring, why do we need that? Why do we need Purple ISO 4 and 5? Again, before, it was to give us that new chase character in Odin. The way the Age of Annihilus is working, things might be different. But who is this next legendary character? What is he going to be for? Quasar was for War. He was standalone. I don't think he's going to be for Arena, because we just got an Arena team. You don't really have a standalone raid team. So will he be for Crucible? Or will he be for Battle World? But you can pop him out and use him in other places. I'm not sure. This is something, I mean, it's interesting to me. It's interesting to me. I want to know your thoughts, right? I want to know your thoughts. So I'm just saying it's Proteus. I'm just making that up just cause. right? Just because we need a character. Legion would probably be better, but we had that mid-year Odin chase, and the Krakens and the Whales need something to chase. I think that Purple, ISO 4 and 5 give us that. Then they have something to chase, but what what game modes do we need filled by the rest of the year? I think we need a war team. I think they give us another Crucible team, but what else could be coming? We'll definitely be getting another Battle World team, but I want to know what you think we will get before the end of the year.